many of them rooting on Valdez. He did indeed silence them.
What does this victory mean to you?
Hey, this victory means everything. I told y'all what I was gonna do. I said I'm gonna beat Valdez, Canelo, and Eddie Reynoso. That was my game plan. Beat the whole team, and I feel good about it. Much respect to them, no disrespect to them, but that was my game plan.
I'm in great shape. I'm in great shape right now.
Make sure you're not cheating. Make sure there's no cheating going on.
Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez, Canelo team, Eddie Reynoso, Oscar Valdez. Subtle cheat code that a lot of people didn't pick up on in the Shakur Stevenson fight. And I'm going to talk about that in this video. A lot of people didn't see this. Stay tuned to see what it is. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Stop playing with me. So Shakur Stevenson, he's the man, dominated Oscar Valdez. Now, I know the fight is about a week ago, but let me give you a brief preamble as to why the video is being done. For one, there were fans that didn't pick up on this. And my channel, I'm a content creator. I curate content. It's my job to inform. Two, I seen on Ring magazine, they withheld Shakur Stevenson on the pound for pound Ring magazine list, despite him beating Oscar Valdez for the Ring championship belt in dominant fashion. And one of the members of the Ring committee that voted says, I do not like Shakur Stevenson being on the pound for pound Ring list, and I'm voting for the Ring list because Shakur was sticking his arm out probing as a measuring stick and, quote, doing an illegal tactic. So despite this, quote, illegal tactic, he didn't get admonished or a point deduction. The referee did warn him, but you can't just make up your own rules, and there was no point deduction. So obviously it wasn't aggressive or excessive enough for the ref to deduct a point. Now let's go.
Discussion, but Shakur.
So this is the round where Shakur Stevenson first really started to pick off and back up and hurt Oscar Valdez. And I'm going to show you the little subtle dirty tactic, cheat tactic that was implored.
Bernardo Osuna, our award-winning ringside reporter, just turned to the Nevada Commission and said, what's your read? They said it's not illegal at all, to your point.
So you just heard the ESPN commentator say that our award-winning reporter, Bernardo Osuna, turned to the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So it appears just like the Tyson Fury fight with Otto Wallin, where Tyson Fury had a cut and ESPN sent somebody over to inform Tyson Fury's team that it was ruled by the referee or the judges as a punch that caused a cut so the fight could get stopped, and then Tyson Fury would lose. And they forewarned Tyson Fury. But here you have, he just said, Bernardo Osuna, award-winning reporter, he checked in with the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and they said what Shakur Stevenson was doing was not illegal, which is the same thing that Andre S.O.G. Ward said. He said, show me in the rule book where this is illegal. You know, if the ref doesn't like something, he has the carte blanche and jurisdiction to change it and deduct points or disqualify as needed. And he didn't. So what is Ring TV talking about that Shakur Stevenson cheated? And we'll get to the Oscar Valdez Team Canelo cheat code. You got to stay tuned to the end of this video.
Bernardo Osuna, our award-winning ringside reporter, just turned to the Nevada Commission and said, what's your read? They said it's not illegal at all, to your point.
Uh-oh.
And immediately you heard Tim Bradley just say, uh-oh, because Shakur Stevenson was putting punches together and destroying Valdez getting off.
Valdez,
Not sure what Valdez
closes the distance, doesn't get anything accomplished with it though.
Valdez closes the distance, but he doesn't get anything accomplished with it though. Says ESPN. As you guys can hear from the audio, things clearly in round 5 are not going Valdez's way, and he's getting beat up, picked apart at range, and he can't keep up with the speed. Let's go.
Trying to get your offense up.
Oh, there's a Shakur Stevenson detonates a deadly left as Oscar begins to get very desperate, and he's lunging forward. His hands are lowered, and Shakur Stevenson, being the sniper that he is, catches him with a left. And you hear the commentator say, oh, that's because he got popped. Shakur right back on defense. And now what's incredible is after Shakur landed that sniper left hand, you look at Shakur's face and he knows that was a nice peach of a shot, and he makes a face like, woo, like, yeah. Like, you could tell he's really in there for that. That's what he likes that. So on top of already being good, that makes Shakur even more dangerous is he knows he's good and he's confident and he's braggadocious about it. He landed a crazy sniper shot. Then he starts laughing and smiling. Crazy. Mind you, as this is going on, guess who's in the crowd looking upset and salty and somber? Canelo, payday. You want payday? I know that. Mind you, round 5 was devastating for Valdez. This is immediately after the bell rung to end the round. Shakur, he knew he did good work, so he's actually walking back to his corner with a big smile on his face. And Oscar Valdez, after getting blasted up and probably to the point in the fight, his worst round where he was just getting beat up, he looks, and you see him walking back, he looks completely deflated, while you have the opposite reaction from Shakur Stevenson. The kid from Newark looks happy to be there. He looks like he's just enjoying his time and having a good time in there. Now time for the Canelo payday and Eddie Reynoso, the oldest trick in the book. To me, this was a cheat code. I'm surprised no one else other than myself is talking about this. And here we are. Again, after round 5 was the most devastating round, absolutely, for Oscar Valdez in this fight to that point. And Shakur was popping him, walking him down, discouraging him. And you have a deflated Valdez walking back to his corner. This is what happens. You won't believe it.
Gonna have to take times. Valdez is gonna have to take some shots so he can get a shot in there.
Eddie Reynoso did not put the mouthpiece into the mouth of Oscar Valdez. Eddie Reynoso, who's also handling cuts, had to handle a small cut under the right eye of Oscar Valdez, the undefeated 31-year-old champion. 4 rounds to 1 Stevenson.
Boom, you never know, huh? So what are the odds, Patty? What are the odds? Scorecards like 4-1, 5-0, Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson had a surgical round. You know I'm surgical with this big surgical round, tearing and teeing off on Valdez. Valdez was getting hit and clipped with sniper shots. What are the odds that after round 5, where this devastation happens, what are the odds that Eddie Reynoso, who is the trainer of one of the biggest people in boxing in the last several years, Canelo Payday Alvarez, what are the odds that Eddie Reynoso literally forgot to put the mouthpiece after all that calamity in round 5, entering round 6? So this is the oldest trick in the book. I am of the belief that Eddie Reynoso absolutely knew what he was doing. It's the oldest trick in the book, and this was merely a way for the team or Oscar Valdez, after such a discouraging round, maybe he was badly hurt and they wanted to buy him time. In fact, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they came out with a rule that if the fighter spits out the mouthpiece, you could lose 1 or 2 points. And this fight took place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. And if you know your boxing history, guys like, rest in peace, Diego Chico Corrales previously did this, where he had a fight and it's not going his way and spin out the mouthpiece. It's literally the oldest trick in the book. It's a way to stall him out and buy time and things like that, to maybe try to regroup or gather yourself instead of taking punishment. Never in the history of boxing have I seen someone fidget or play or do things that seem audaciously suspicious with their mouthpiece when they were winning the fight. Because at that point, why would you? If you're dominate like Shakur Stevenson, why he didn't have any mouthpiece? Not like Errol Spence or Ugas, where there was a mouthpiece was knocked out. That's something totally different. Errol Spence, he got his mouthpiece ejected, just like Danny Garcia versus Lucas Matisse. You gotta know your boxing. If a fighter spits it out, that's something completely different. Usually shows that he don't want no more. And again, why would you have a multi-million-dollar trainer like Eddie Reynoso, who just got trainer of the year, and he doesn't remember to put his fighter's mouthpiece in after his fighter was getting busted up and had his worst round? Imagine if he did that to Canelo versus Bivol. He'd probably get fired. So although it wasn't the fighter that spit out the mouthpiece, we've seen fighters and fights where the mouthpiece was fidgeted with, right? Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz Jr. comes to mind. It's the oldest trick in the book. Andy Ruiz, who's also in, conveniently and coincidentally, in the Eddie Reynoso gym, Andy Ruiz got dropped, got back up, started fighting back. Ruiz was teeing off on Joshua. Anthony Joshua didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to stop the onslaught. You can't stop the rain. You can't stop the rain. He couldn't stop the rain, and Ruiz was putting the pause on Joshua, and then they kept having these mouthpiece hijinkses in the middle of the fight at the best action, the best moment. Shakur Stevenson, how come his team didn't put a, like Shakur's grandfather in Karama, they don't get the same recognition as Eddie Reynoso, trainer of the year and fighter of the year with Canelo? So how come you have one team who does something inept in a high stakes unification for the Ring magazine title? They send him out there after his worst round with no mouthpiece. What a coinky dink. But wait, there's more. Ironically, right after this whole mouthpiece left out fiasco after his worst round, seconds later, Shakur Stevenson is in position to fire like he always is. Oscar Valdez again lunges him just like the previous round and completely misses and gets clipped with no defense and knocked down. So being fair, being reasonable, what are the odds that Shakur Stevenson was beating up Valdez in round 5, landing vicious surgical sniper shots, losing every round to Shakur Stevenson, and then he comes out round 6, Eddie Reynoso, who also trains a multi-million-dollar fighter in Canelo Alvarez, and they forget to put the mouthpiece in. Seconds later, after the mouthpiece is finally in, after they bought time, Oscar Valdez gets dropped and then plays like he doesn't understand what's going on. So what are the odds? And then you have a black and Puerto Rican fighter, Shakur Stevenson, who is then told by Ring magazine he can't enter the top 10 because he used illegal tactics. And actually, you purposely manipulating or not using or spitting out your mouthpiece, that actually goes against rules. So the thing with the probing with the arm, there was never a point deduction. You sending your fighter out with no mouthpiece to delay the fight, that is in fact an illegal tactic. Just because you're getting whooped doesn't mean you could actually delay the fight by purposely not putting out somebody's mouthpiece. So I am of the belief that that was completely intentional and it was an effort to buy time. The issue was resolved. They put the mouthpiece in and you've seen what happened right after that. So there you have it. That was Canelo's team, a little dirty trick. People keep talking about Shakur using his arm and all this others. He was way bigger, but no one's talking about this. So I had to make this video. Oscar Valdez, he lost. You know, he was valiant. He was a warrior. Shakur's the better man, the better fighter. Oscar punching his gloves and things like that. That just simply put wasn't going to be enough. Shakur Stevenson, he didn't win based on using his arm as a rangefinder. He won based on his skills, and he was all over Oscar Valdez. Valdez is supposed to be the guerrero, the warrior, and he literally seemed like he did not know what to do with Shakur Stevenson. There you have it. So I have to redeem Shakur Stevenson's name because there's a lot of people that are saying things that they don't know what they're talking about and not giving credit where credit's due. And on my channel, I made an oath, a pledge when I came in the game that I wasn't gonna let that ride. We ain't them marks just killed your cousin. Them marks just killed your cousin and you ain't gonna do, get damn it. I don't care who out there. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. What movie is that from? Dominant tour de force performance. I'll definitely be checking for the kid. Stop snitching, stop making excuses. Gang, gang. Subscribe if you like videos like this. I got a lot more coming. Shakur did the thing. Let's talk about it in the comment section. As always, hey, comment and subscribe. Till next videos, ego. And I'm out. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description, customized the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.